Hi, ladies. Welcome back again. I'm Tracey, and this is my dear friend, Chantal, and we're here today to talk to you about another difficult or challenging life event that we're going to be facing in the hopefully distant future, but it's something that we need to be considering, and that is the space of elder women. Honoring all the decisions that we'll have to make as women without children, end of life, our wills, all of the above. There's a lot to this one. And so we invite you to step into the space with us, and just we would love to know, as we have this conversation, have you thought about this? What does end of life look like for you? What does retirement look like for you? What does having a power of attorney, all of these decisions that we make as we begin to age and walk into this new space? Where are you on that? This is something new for Chantal and I, and we're honestly just opening up the conversation to see where it will go. Chantal?
Thank you, Tracey. And as you say that, I can still feel my body going, oh, because it's an interesting topic. And a lot of people we've noticed, because my mother and I have talked about her death for a long time. We've always been open about it and what documents. Whereas a lot of people feel that if you talk about that, you're bringing it on, are you willing it, are you wishing it? And it's a lot of discomfort around talking about death and therefore paperwork. So I've always felt comfortable talking with my mum about documents because she was my mum. That was logical. That's her doing it. And there's my brother and I to be able to support her in the process of doing that. And my father died young when I was only 36. So we didn't have to worry about that. But fortunately, he had a will in place, because in France, they don't need wills. It's a very different system. But fortunately, because he'd divorced mum through the Australian courts here, they actually insisted he got a will. So thank goodness he didn't, because there's repercussions to that. I don't know about in Canada, but here in Australia, big repercussions with that if you don't. And so it is a difficult topic for people. And even where mum is in this care facility, carers or nurses would come and say, gosh, we're so relieved that you have talked about it with your mum. It's all in place, because we still have, and this is no disrespect or judgment, but they're all just stating this. We've got our beautiful, one of our residents is dying, and the family still can't work it out. Still, they know he's dying, but there's still no paperwork in place. Because if you don't understand that, particularly power of attorney, and I've just gone blank, just shows you the other one. What's that one when you're looking after someone, if they're health directive? That is, and we'll come back to that. And the other one, I've gone completely blank. It'll come to me, because I've just got the lawyer coming to do my partners and I as we speak. Because suddenly I realized I need this in place now. So like you said, we sometimes feel we are too young, or we shouldn't be talking about it. But, 4.5 years ago, we got a very frightening diagnosis with my partner. We're lucky he's alive. Now, he's a bit older than me, but that really shook me. And it's only taken us until now to finally go, we need to get that paperwork in place. Because he found it difficult to talk about. Because what it means is it's confronting your own death.
Of course, yes.
And in our case, it's for women without children, or in my case, is what legacy am I leaving? Mm-hmm. And I think that should be another topic separate, because what that means, but it is all of that. Well, who do I do this? So anyhow, ladies, it's about being the elder woman. What does that mean? And if you are younger, I really appreciate you watching this, because you need to start considering this, because let's face it, you will have something to leave behind. Number one, in the will. Number two, anything can happen. And this is what we'll start going into. Who do you trust around this? That someone's really going to do what you have requested. That is really for me, was frightening. Who do I turn to? Who do I trust enough to make those big decisions for me?
Yeah, that is a really, really big one. And it can feel quite daunting.
It can.
Because you really have to begin tuning into who is around you, like who is willing, who can you fully trust with your health in making those decisions when the time comes. You know, I wanted to go back first and say it's a little bit different for us. My husband was in the military, and so he was told as a very young man in the military to have a will. And so that's something that we spoke about when we came together as partners, was, you know, having a will and making sure that that was all in place. It was really important to him. He saw the importance and the value of it. And so that's something that we've always had, but we definitely expanded on it in the last few years. And we really had to look at all of these details. And it really can feel daunting to really look at who is around you, that if you were in a serious health condition of any kind, who is it that you can trust to step in and protect you and make really sound decisions on your behalf.
That's right. And I was just looking down a moment ago to go through, I've just brought up, it's called Enduring Powers of Guardianship. That's the other one. So you've got the three, like you said, enduring powers of attorney, that's about your financial side. Enduring powers of guardianship is your medical side. And then, or advanced health directive is what happens if you want to be resuscitated or not. So they're the three documents that are vital, apart from your will as well. Yes. So that's, sorry, I that's why I was looking down, because I needed to remember that, powers of guardianship. So yeah, like you said, who do you trust? So coming back to like what you're saying, why I brought this up with, why we were talking about this, was that over the years, I've wondered, and it's given me fear, sometimes to the point of panic attacks. Who is going to care for me when I die? And then I've had people say, oh, you've got friends, don't worry, it may never happen. Not the point. It is a very real feeling, is that fear. Because you don't know. Yes, I'm healthy and I keep myself fit, but you don't know if you're going to have a stroke. You don't know if you're going to have an accident. You don't know. I mean, I had an accident 12 and a half years ago, a car accident that, you know, came out of nowhere. You know, and it's who's going to be there. So then I've had women with mothers say to me, oh, well, but I have children, but, you know, so sort of basically saying, so what? I don't want to burden them. I don't want to put this on them, give them that responsibility. Number one, you've got a child or children. Number two, who are you going to burden then? It's for me, it's like them saying, well, then they're denying themselves that this is going to perhaps happen to them too. I don't want to put this onto my children. Well, who are you going to put it onto then? Oh, it's not easy. It's easy to say, oh, you've got friends around you. Ask me, for example. Really? You know, yes, I love that idea. But when it comes push to shove, number one, how old are you going to be? Number two, what family are you going to be caring for? Number three, are you going to be able to? Number four, have you even come and said to me, what is it you need? So we need to talk about this, ladies. We do need to. And I think, you know, what you shared, like with the military and who you, as you said, now expand on it. You know, it's important because then it gives you a sense of, at least a sense of safety or security, knowing there is going to be someone there for you.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. And that's, you know, it's looking at all the other details as well as, you know, are you going to stay at home? Are you going to go into a care center or a retirement community so that you have people around you? These are also things that we're having to look at. You know, what is it that we want? When we were younger, we thought, oh, we'll just stay at home. We'll just stay at home. But then I was like, well, what would happen if one of us passes before the other? And then we're left in this home having to deal with the grief of someone being gone, our partner being gone, having to deal with the entire household, all the bills, exactly. You know, whatever, maybe selling the house, all those different things. Or do we look at being in a retirement community where, you know, you go from one stage of life to the next, unto the final one, where you have partial care and then full care. And maybe you're there early enough that you begin to make friends and you have people around you, so that if one partner leaves, if one partner passes, then the other one has a community around them.
Exactly.
You know, those type of things. we also have to talk about, and we
Yes,
do talk about.
We do, because when people say that to me, it's very glib. That's right, because, oh yes, I'll be there for you, but exactly, who's going to put my house on the market?
Yeah.
Who's going to get rid of all my stuff? So I've already started decluttering, but yes, I've still got plenty of stuff that needs to go. Who does it go to? Who are you going to leave if you've got money or things to? So that's coming back to the will. Who's going to be your executor? Do you have one executor? Do you have two executors? Are they? And it's the same with, now that's power of attorney. Understand with power of attorney, you could have joint. Either they have to make the decision together, or you have that separate. If you have decision together, you both have to make the decision before anything can happen. That could be too late, particularly if you're living in different time zones. So it's good to have one who can make the decision, and then you support each other. But then you've got to have the trust in that as well with power of attorney. That's all about the finances. Then with the during guardianship is when you start to no longer have your mind. See, most of us are scared about that, so it's too difficult to talk about. But so do you? So I'm that for my mum. And my brother is the second one, the secondary one. So I've become the legal responsibility to mum from that point of view. It's an honor, it's a privilege, and it's a responsibility. Because I've got to enforce her wishes, but also with the medical profession. Now, legally, they're meant to abide by this, right? So non-resus. That comes back to the health directive, non-resus. That if there's no chance of mum being resuscitated, now she's 92, she could have a heart attack, she does not want to go to hospital, she wants to be able to die at home. Now, from what I understand is if that's not adhered to, and the ambulance and that take her to the hospital and they try and keep her alive, in theory, we could sue. Now, will that work? I doubt it. But in theory, that because they didn't go legally binding. So you have to have the documents everywhere. My mum is in a care facility. We need to all know that. So we discussed it as a family. Now, it's not always easy to, now for a while there, we didn't have a cohesive family. So, you need to be cohesive and agree to it. So you all can't, because that's in times like this is when your family dynamics really become real and challenging, particularly if you don't agree with each other or you've got resentment or anger. This can explode everything. And then you're forgetting who you're dealing with, which is your parent. Or in this case, it would be us.
Yeah, exactly.
And the other thing to go on, then honoring what they want. It may not be what you want. So that religious things can come in there,
Exactly. That's another big one.
Yeah, because my father was Catholic, and his lady friend at the time when he died wanted to cremate him. My God, he did not cremate my father. No way. He would not have wanted to be cremated. So all these, as said, this comes into it. So it means that you need to sit down with yourself and reflect on, well, what is it do I want? How do I want? What do I want? What legacy do I want to leave? All those sort of things. I just thought, yeah. So ladies, it's something really, really powerful to think about. And so as you said, that's why being the elder woman, what does that mean for you? Who's going to care for you? And it is, I still get concerned.
I do as well. But the biggest thing is, like you said, it's time to start thinking about that for us. We're at that stage in life that we need to start preparing, lay out the paperwork, let our family and friends know what is important to us.
Your gorgeous dog is going, yes, Sean is home.
Daddy's home.
That's right. So
and she's also letting us know that yes, we need to do this. We need to take care of this.
Exactly.
It's important information.
Yeah.
So so let's just it's a tough, deep conversation that you need to have amongst your partners, your family, your friends, whoever it is that you choose to have in your life at those in those times when those decisions have to be made. And so it's not always an easy conversation. Like you said, there's a lot of people that don't like to talk about the end of life. They don't want to face it. They don't want to have those decisions to make. But it's so important. And So
thank you. And I think what we've done here, Tracey, today is we've just planted a seed. And I think this is something we can discuss down the track in more depth. But I think it's just, and also we don't want to go too deep too fast, because can be confrontational, can be triggering. This was just to go, ladies, this is what we need to think about. And you're not alone on this journey. And even if you get a couple of documents in place first, for your peace of mind, just start with one power of attorney, because that's your money. Because otherwise you cannot get access to any money if you need to be able to support the pay bills or whatever it might be. So just start with one thing. That's one step. Start with speaking to a lawyer, just start the conversation. Right, just start the conversation so that because like they say, information is not power. What is it? Information is, there's a saying, anyhow, I've gone blank, called menopausal moment, lady, being the elder woman. But it is, more information you have, the less anxious you are. Okay? And talk to someone about it. We feel often ashamed, embarrassed, we should know it all. We don't, not with something like this. So thank you. Now, did you want to draw a card, Tracey? Because I know you need to go in a minute.
We're going to be drawing from the Wisdom of the Oracle with Colette Baron Reed today.
Yes.
And Wisdom of the Oracle, ladies. We're entering our elderly years. We're looking at them. We're not entering them. We're looking at them, Chantal.
Yes, that's right. Because there's some of those who'll be watching who'll be even younger than us.
Yes.
We're talking on our behalf, ladies.
And so we call in the Wisdom of the Oracle.
Yeah.
To just support us in this conversation. What wants to come through? Well, that one just literally fell on the ground. Milk and honey.
Oh, milk and honey. Milk and honey. I wonder what that means. Sounds like a lovely ritual too, doesn't it?
It does, actually. We could create something from this. So let's just see. It's beautiful. Wisdom. Yes. So you've entered a sweet time in your life, enjoying the land of milk and honey that everyone wants to experience. It's an interlude that feels more languid than ambitious, when all your senses are awake to the unlimited possibilities in the universe. These times are precious and only come when you're in your authentic zone. Wearing the world as a loose garment, not wanting yet able to be nourished in ways both tangible and subtle. Abundance is an energy that you are a living part of. All your needs are being met. You are given the gift of nourishment in every form. And I think that that's really a beautiful way to end this, because this is a conversation that can be nourishing for our soul. It's when we set things in place, there are no worries then. We don't have to be concerned about the future, but it's about making sure that we lay that foundation to support us so that we are abundant and we can enjoy the sweetness of life. And so with that, I thank you, Chantal, for joining me on this conversation.
Yeah, thank you.
And so ladies, we do have a Facebook group, Women Without Children, Own Your Story. If you resonate with us and our energy and talking about everything to do with women without children, then we'd love for you to join us.
Yes.
This is a space where we're just beginning, and we would love to have you. If you like this video, please subscribe. That helps to raise us up and so that more people are able to see us. Like the video if you like it. And until next time, Chantal, ladies, we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone.